Hello everyone, welcome to History and Culture. During a recent archaeological excavation, Chinese experts opened the long-sealed lid of a coffin in an ancient grand tomb, revealing a scene that left everyone present stunned. Inside the coffin, several intact jujubes, Chinese red dates, were found floating. These fruits, having endured the passage of 1,000 years, had somehow preserved their shape, almost as if they were silently telling stories from a distant past. However, what puzzled the experts even more was a weapon unearthed shortly afterward, a spear. According to historical records, the tomb likely belonged to the renowned Warring States general Liu Bei. Yet, these same records consistently mention that Liu Bei's weapon of choice was a long saber, not a spear. So why was a spear found in his tomb? This discovery left the archaeologists perplexed. Some even began to question the reliability of ancient texts. Could our understanding of history be flawed? Did General Liu Bei really use a spear instead of a saber? As the team pondered this mystery, a wooden plaque was unearthed. What seemed like an ordinary artifact at first caused a wave of gasps and heightened tension at the sight the moment it was discovered. It turned out that the plaque bore a crucial inscription, which might just be the key to unraveling the entire mystery. So, what exactly was written on this plaque? Could it finally reveal the true weapon used by General Liu Bei? Were the historical records accurate after all? According to media reports, in a village in Huainan, Anhui Province, a team of archaeologists was systematically excavating an ancient tomb labeled M76. The tomb was buried beneath a thick layer of earth, and beneath this soil, they found something extremely rare in archaeological digs, an ancient woven mat. When the experts carefully cleared the surrounding soil, they were amazed to find that the mat, though buried for over 2,000 years, was astonishingly well preserved, showing almost no signs of damage from time. This presented a dilemma for the team. Removing the mat in one piece might damage it or lead to the loss of valuable information if not handled properly. After much deliberation, they made a bold decision, to preserve only the portion of the mat that covered the top of the coffin lid, while cutting and removing the rest in segments. Once the soil was completely cleared, the team noticed several prominent bumps between the lid and the mat. These aroused great interest, since even the slightest anomaly could rewrite archaeological understanding. To investigate further, the coffin lid and the mat were extracted together for testing. The results showed that the mat was made of ordinary woven reeds, with no unusual materials. The bumps were due to inconsistencies in weaving thickness rather than anything mysterious. Though this finding was somewhat anticlimactic, the team's enthusiasm remained high. Just then, a peculiar pattern on the coffin lid drew attention. After careful cleaning, they discovered intricate carvings. Based on their expertise, archaeologists identified the style as distinctly Warring States, suggesting that the tomb's occupant was likely a high-ranking official or a decorated war hero. A burial of this scale was certainly not for a common person. Due to the massive size of the coffin structure, the team decided to begin excavating from its side compartments. Upon opening one of the side boxes, they were greeted by a pool of clear water. And to their amazement, round objects were floating on its surface. Upon closer inspection, they realized these were the same kind of jujubes that had survived 2 millennia while still retaining their shape. Such a food item would have been a luxury reserved for nobility or royalty in ancient times. The fact that they had been preserved so perfectly in the tomb was simply incredible and gave the archaeologists great confidence in the preservation state of the skeletal remains and other burial goods. The team carefully drained the water inch by inch, gradually revealing even more mysterious burial items. Ceramic vessels were found neatly stacked, tightly fitted together, forming a delicate structure where one wrong move could ruin the whole arrangement. Among these burial goods, the archaeologists found rare and exquisite treasures, the likes of which hadn't been seen in many years. Each artifact was beautiful and historically significant, greatly exciting the team. And this was only the upper layer. The deeper they dug, the more surprises they expected to find. Later, the experts carefully removed a lacquered wooden zun, ritual wine vessel, from the tomb. In ancient China, the zun was an important ceremonial vessel used for holding wine, holding special significance in Chinese wine culture. A total of 2 zuns were discovered in the tomb. Not only were they perfectly preserved, but they also featured intricate and elegant designs. Upon examination, the carvings appeared to depict dragons, symbols of power and nobility. The discoveries that followed were even more dazzling. A black wooden bench was unearthed at the site. In ancient times, such benches could be used both for placing objects and for resting against. Experts speculate that this particular bench was intended for people to lean on while sitting. Beneath the bench, several uniquely shaped artifacts were discovered, including a rectangular, lotus-patterned box and a horseshoe-shaped dressing case. These items were used by ancient women to store grooming tools, suggesting that the tomb's occupant or their family paid great attention to personal appearance. Just when it seemed the excavation was drawing to a close, 2 long black objects were retrieved. Their shapes were unusual, featuring hook-like decorations carved into tiger heads at the tips. Soon after, archaeologists discovered some gear cups inside the tomb, a type of drinking vessel commonly used during the Warring States period. Shortly after that, a finely crafted table was found, matching the earlier bench. These tables were among the furniture used by the ancients to display items. The patterns on the table and the bench were strikingly similar, indicating they were likely part of a set. However, as much of the table remained buried, a rushed excavation could damage surrounding artifacts. So archaeologists decided to proceed with extra caution. As the cleaning work progressed, a large area of pottery began to emerge in the tomb chamber. Though such pottery was commonplace in everyday life at the time, it remains a valuable resource for studying ancient lifestyles. It turns out that in what seemed like an ordinary tomb, archaeologists had already unearthed an ancient weapon. That led them to preliminarily suspect the tomb's owner might be the famous Warring States General Liu Bei. But just as the clearing of the side chest was nearing completion, a wooden plaque was unearthed. Unfortunately, after more than 2,000 years, the text on its surface had become almost completely illegible. As the experts carefully continued cleaning it, 2 more unusually shaped black objects were discovered. They bore a strong resemblance to the previously excavated tiger head hook items. Upon analysis, experts speculated that these separate long pieces were originally one whole object. Prolonged exposure to water had caused the wood to expand and break apart. When experts attempted to reassemble them, they realized it was very likely an ancient weapon rack. This discovery sparked great excitement. If there was a weapon rack, could actual weapons belonging to Liu Bei be next? Not long afterward, a spear appeared at the very bottom of the side chest. Though it had slumbered underground for over 2 millennia, the spearhead remained incredibly sharp, its cold gleam still dazzling, an astonishing sight. Archaeologists speculated that this spear might have been one of the critical weapons Liu Bei used in his many victorious battles. However, a young archaeologist on site raised a question. According to historical records, Liu Bei wielded a long sword. But what we found is a spear. Could the records be inaccurate? This question caused the experts to pause in thought. No one could offer a definitive explanation right away. Just then, the previously unearthed blurred wooden plaque revealed some legible characters after further cleaning. Surprisingly, the plaque did not bear the name of the tomb's occupant, but instead appeared to be a letter of introduction to the king of the underworld, possibly written by the deceased to introduce or account for themselves. This extremely rare tomb document provides critical clues for studying ancient burial customs. According to historical records, Liu Bei was a renowned general of the state of Zhao during the late Warring States period. In the 16th year of King Huiwen of Zhao, 283 BC, Lianpe participated in a campaign where 5 allied states launched an attack on the state of Qi. He achieved a significant victory by defeating Qi's army and capturing Yongjin, which led to his appointment as Shangqing, chief minister, by the king of Zhao, a highly esteemed position. He is also famously linked to Prime Minister Lin Xiangru of Zhao. Initially, Lianpe resented Lin for holding a higher official rank. But Lin Xiangru always remained humble and yielded to him, never engaging in conflict. Eventually, Lianpe was deeply moved, repented, and went to Lin's house shirtless and bearing thorns on his back to apologize. From then on, the two became sworn brothers. This became the well-known story of bearing thorn branches to apologize. Lianpe spent his life on military campaigns across the land, winning numerous battles, defeating Qi, vanquishing Yan, and holding the line at Chongping. His exploits were legendary. His military brilliance and indomitable spirit earned him eternal respect. He is often ranked alongside Bai Qi, Wang Jian, and Li Mu as one of the 4 great generals of the Warring States period. This is the History and Culture channel. Liking and subscribing are the greatest help and support to us. Thank you everyone and see you in the next time.